This is the 2025 Toyota Crown Signia Limited. This beauty of a crossover is perfect for you if you want your next vehicle to be a hybrid, but still value that extra bit of space and legroom. This Crown Signia checks a lot more boxes than just its luxurious looks. It gets 38 miles of gas to the gallon, has all-wheel drive capabilities, and you still get all of the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 features that you've come to love, like a blind spot monitor and pedestrian detection alert that keep you and your passengers safe. The Crown Signia will be sure to turn heads when you drive it off the lot from Haley Toyota. Back in January, we took Aidan Girduckis for a drive. While the rookie defenseman was called up to the ECHL on the following day after this episode, the 6'4" defenseman out of Belleville, Ontario, had 1 goal, 4 assists, and a +6 rating in 25 games this year for the Dawgs.
Aidan, how's it going, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you, man.
You too.
I'm Mitch Stewart, and this is Driving with the Dawgs.
Happy to have you on. This is like the rite of passage, right? Like everybody's got to get on Driving with the Dawgs at some point. That you're ready for it?
Yep, I think so.
I want to start off by taking it back to last spring. You're wrapping up your college career and trying to kind of see what those next steps are. Where did Roanoke come into the equation for you as far as getting in contact with head coach Dan Brimner and assistant coach Nick DeVito? How did you end up here in Roanoke?
Well, I actually played with Nick DeVito back in 2016. So we knew each other from back then, and obviously he caught wind that I was finishing up my college career. He shot me a text and had nothing but great things to say, so I thought I'd come give it a shot.
Yeah, and you mentioned playing with DeVito back in your junior days. You played with him, you played with Travis Broman too at one point. How much did that help to already kind of know some faces that were either here at the time or that had been here through Roanoke, just as far as building up that trust and familiarity with the place?
Yeah, I mean, Travis and Vito are both guys, that I like and, I played with. And Travis I actually lived with for an entire year. So having a couple guys who have been here and had nothing but, positive things to say made the decision pretty easy for me.
When you drop in with Roanoke last spring, you're right in the middle of the playoff push for the Rail Yard Dawgs. You get a few weeks to kind of get settled to the new league and the new teammates, and then you're right in the middle of a postseason run where Roanoke's trying to defend a President's Cup. What was that like for you? You ever been in a situation where you kind of get dropped into a little bit of a pressure cooker like that? And what do you feel like you learned about yourself just in that first little blip of experience that you got in the SPHL?
Yeah, it was obviously, kind of a shock. You go from college where you play, 30 to 40 games for the whole year, and then playoffs are 1 game in Division III. So, yeah, I mean, coming here and then having a team with a bunch of guys who are, locked in and dialed in for the win. It took a lot of a radical adjustment in a short period of time, but yeah, they made it easy for me, and it was a lot of fun. So,
in your college days, before you ended up turning pro, you started at Robert Morris, and then you ended up transferring to Chatham about midway through your college career. What led you to each of those schools, Robert Morris in the first place, and then the decision to go to Chatham, and kind of what would you sum up your college experience like getting to play at both of those spots?
Yeah, so Robert Morris approached me while I was in Ottawa. They offered me a scholarship to go play there. To be honest, it was the team that made me feel like I was wanted the most, so decided to go with them. And then, things weren't really working out. I wasn't playing quite as much as I would have liked at Robert Morris, and the assistant coach the defense coach there was leaving to go become the head coach at Chatham. And it was an easy transition because they're both in Pittsburgh. So I just decided to go with them and try to help them out there. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love Pittsburgh. It's a great city.
Ever since you've gotten here from Chatham, that your game just has continued to grow. One thing that's really jumped out to me this year is you feel it looks like you're a lot more confident on the puck. You're starting to take your chances and really start to push the offense yourself from the back end. What do you feel like that can be attributed to? Is it just getting more comfortable here in the league, or has there been something that you've been working on since you got that first little bit of experience last season?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just getting into more games, getting used to a pro schedule again after being in college for 4 years. And it's easy when you have great teammates around you. You know where they're going to be on the ice, and they're predictable for you. It makes it a lot easier to play. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it, just being comfortable knowing where guys are going to be and what plays are going to be there. Being able to anticipate that ahead of time is something that's become a lot easier playing for a team like this one.
With you being in your first pro season but having some experience, coming back into this team, there's a lot of guys that you're already familiar with here
Yeah.
at the start of the season here, at least just on the back end on the blue line for you all. And you've played a lot of your minutes this year with Steven Alvo and Bryce Martin, two very experienced veteran guys that have had some really strong seasons of their own alongside of you. What's it been like playing with those two this season? What do you feel like you've maybe gained from getting the chance to play alongside of them?
Yeah, it's great to see, how they kind of succeed and how they play here. And what's made them successful has helped me grow as a player a lot. They also make it very easy for me. They're always there for support on the ice, and it allows me to feel a little bit more comfortable taking those risks and trying to expand my game a little bit.
One of the first guys we had on Driving with the Dogs this year was goaltender Tyler Roy. I know you're living with him this year, and I think he took it pretty easy on you in the Driving with the Dogs episode. But I know when we did our New Year's resolution video, he was saying that he needed to be nicer to you as his New Year's resolution. I mean, what is it like living with T-Roy, and how is he following his New Year's resolution so far through January?
Yeah, he's been super nice so far. The guy's kind of messy, but yeah, he's all right to live with. We play a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Xbox. It's a good way to pass the time. It's not too bad. So.
And he's being a little nicer. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. Yeah, T-Roy, come on, let's keep being nice to our boy Ducky here. What do your days look like once your time at the rink is over? If you don't have a community appearance or some broadcaster bugging you to come hop in for Driving with the Dogs, what is it that you like to do, especially when the weather's a bit nicer than it is right now, to get out and about?
Usually starts with a stop at Jack Brown's. The place has the best burgers in the world, and I do work part-time, so that would probably take up some of my afternoon. Then by that time, me and T-Roy usually fire up the sticks, play a little Call of Duty, and yeah, there's a board game called Catan. A lot of us like to play. A lot of the time we'll get together and play that too. So that's a pretty typical day for me.
Who's the toughest dude on Settlers of Catan? Who's the guy that you're always watching out for when you guys fire it up, whether you're playing the actual board game or I know you guys will play it on your phones too on the road trips?
I want to say honorary mention, but he's not here right now. He's up in Reading. CJ Valerian is a very dangerous Catan player. But with him gone, I'll give the consolation prize to Nick Ford.
Nick Ford, okay,
He's
all right.
pretty dangerous.
Yeah, are they sneaky? Are they making backroom deals? I mean, what is it about them that makes them a little tough to play?
Oh, he's always taking the best spots, and T-Roy's another one who's kind of dangerous to play against. He'll get the dev cards going, which is kind of a greasy way to win, but T-Roy has no problem getting a greasy win. So
You guys have been stacking up a bunch of wins here in the last 2 months or so. It's a bit of a slow ease into the season for you guys, but it feels like it's really started to come together. You're in third place on point percentage at the time of this recording. What do you feel like has been the biggest improvement for your group, and what do you kind of see as the potential for this team moving forward in the second half of the year?
Well, I think we have a great group. I think, we're kind of going through a tough stretch schedule-wise, but I think it's really kind of helped us gel as a team and kind of, as Coach Dan puts it, galvanize as a group. Yeah, I like our odds going into playoffs, that's for sure. So.
Your older brother, Abbott, is obviously a very strong player in his own right. He's had time in the AHL and ECHL, and he's been over in Germany and over in Europe the past couple of years having success.
Yep.
What was it like for you growing up, having someone that you could both look up to, but also that competition that was able to push you a little bit? What was it like growing up with Abbott as you guys were both playing at a really high level all the way up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously very grateful for having a brother like I did. It seemed like every situation that I was going into was what he was just kind of finishing out of and succeeding in. So it was always really helpful to get his advice on a lot of things, but also just pushing each other, on the ice in the gym in the summer times was also huge, just that sibling rivalry, really using that to our advantage for sure.
All right, Aidan, I always kind of like to leave it open-ended here at the end. Is there anything else I didn't get to or anything you'd like to say for people that might be watching this today here at the end of the episode?
See y'all this weekend. Let's go Dawgs!
That was short and sweet as well done. Well, man, I appreciate your time, as always, for hopping on with me. And, yeah, I think I'll second what you said. Good luck to you guys this weekend and going forward in the second half.
Awesome.
Good job, man. Good.
Thanks,
Go
man.
Dogs.
Driving with the Dogs is sponsored by Haley Toyota, the official ride of your rail yard dogs. Visit Haley Toyota online at HaleyHasItForLess.com and stay tuned for more episodes coming soon.